Yo, what is up, guys? What is poppin'? We are back on Pokemon Showdown for week 8 of the NPL. We are facing our buddy Eric and his Reno Regis. He's in our conference, but in the opposing division, so it's kind of an important game, but obviously not the most important of the season. But after like catching 2 losses and then bouncing back, we are at 4-3, which is kind of bad. Eric is, I think, at 3-4 or 4-3 as well. So it's definitely like would be nice if we catch a win here because that would put us in a very solid spot to make the playoffs. Actually, we could like um, defend our third or second place in the conference to like basically put ourselves in a very solid position to make playoffs. I don't have any doubt that I make playoffs, but definitely would be nice if I'm able to beat Eric and next week Nick, aka Reckless Bats, who's also in the opposing division. If we beat those two, we basically should be a lock for playoffs. So kind of important games this week and next week. So we see how that goes. But no team builder this week. We battled pretty late. Last week we played actually yesterday on Sunday. I had 3 battles yesterday, 2 against Eric, 1 for NPL and 1 for ITL, and then the PMC finals, which will go up later today actually, or maybe tomorrow. I don't know. But yeah, we put a lot of thought into this prep. My opponent had a very solid team. Especially his like top 3 or 4 months are really scary. It's the Mega Lopunny, yes, the Zapdos and the Mew, and he also has a Hexerus, which I like really struggle against with my team. But I felt I built a team that takes on every threat on his team very well. It's the first time I reached Skuntank this week. I feel like it kind of was necessary. My opponent also has a Roserade on squad, and Skuntank here is an Assault Vest variant that I really wanted to pursue Trap Roserade so that, as well as like this Mages and potentially like Jellicent and Mew or something, or to pursue Trap all of those so that Manaphy can go to work. Pursuit actually 2 KOs, Roserade easily on the switch out. So if he does like 20% with the Leaf Storm or Giga Drain or whatever he wants to go for, he knows that like he can't beat the Skunting or 1 versus 1. I can like just easily pursue Trap it and 2 KO it. Next time it comes in, I can Sucker Punch it if I wanted to make the prediction, or like just pursue Trap again to get rid of it. And that opens the way for my Manaphy as well as my Greninja. So that's kind of cool. Skuntank also has the Crunch, the Sucker Punch, and the Poison Jab, like just standard coverage. I contemplate going Fire Blast over potentially Poison Jab for Klefki, for example, but I feel like Poison Jab is just overall solid step in general. I can get the poison off on stuff like Mew or Zapdos, which could be nice, and like just there to also hit Lopunny for neutral damage, which actually like does 40% or something to Lopunny because I'm max attack, and yeah, that could be nice. Reuniclus here is my Lopunny switch in. Knock off Psychic, Toxic, and Recover with the Magic Guard ability and the Rocky Helmet. It's basically just here to spread Toxic around the squad. For example, the Zapdos, the Mew, and obviously to get Rocky Helmet damage off on Lopunny. My Lopunny matchup is really bad, I felt. Um, Even though I have the Reuniclus, it doesn't like beat Lopunny too well versus 1 versus 1 because my opponent also has the Drapion, which can just like come in on any hit and then like pursue trip me, get 50% off, put me in range for Fake Out plus return, and then um, like open the way for Lopunny to sweep. I also have a Togekiss, which functions as a backup check to Lopunny. I'm very speed. I outspeed minimum invested Mew and Zapper, which is cool. Max HP and a lot of defense to take on the Hexerus. I have the Caviar Berry alongside Dazzling Gleam, Air Slash, Roost, and Defog. Enough special attack to Oko Hexerus from full, and guaranteed Oko Hexerus after rocks, even if it's like if he has investment in special defense or HP, which is cool. Stunfisk here comes again as my Zapdos check, and also another mon that can spread Toxic. He also takes on Miss Majors fairly well alongside Skuntank. Obviously, if he's like a Nasty Plot Ghost DMZ variant, I can shoot anyone hit, get a Toxic off and go for Discharge. Also have the Earth Power and the Stealth Rock, obviously. Definitely a mon that could come in handy, especially to when it comes to checking Zapdos. Like, Zapdos will never beat Stunfisk 1 versus 1, especially if he's a Scarf variant, which I could see on his team looking at team preview. He doesn't have a mon that reliably revenges a bulky tail or Manaphy, so that like It definitely should be like an offensive Scarf Zapdos or Yachi Zapdos in my opinion to like have a guaranteed check to Manaphy. I was pretty sure it was gonna be a Scarf Zapdos. Anyway, the last two months on my team is are Manaphy, Greninja, Waterium Z, Surf, Ice Beam, Energy Ball, Tail Glow, Manaphy, max speed, some special attack, and the rest in Bolt. Takes some hits. I think I can take a non-life warp, timid, Thunderbolt from Zapdos from full. Maybe even after rocks, I'm not 100% sure, but I have a very solid chance to do so, I'm pretty sure. And like at +3, I basically Oko's entire team, bar the Jellicent and potential AV users. Even Spadef Mew gets blown back by +3 Hydro Vortex, which is nice. And yeah, I can just like use it as a very solid breaker should my opponent decide to bring a very fat team. Looking at the team, it can be very fat with the 4 here in the middle, looking pretty dangerous. It's like could be a Roost Super Fang Mew, which he has shown to like really early in the season. Could be a Roost or Sub Roost Zapdos. Could be AV Drapion, and obviously a defensive Jellicent, which is pretty annoying to deal with. Last one I have is Greninja. Choice Scarf this week, but modest though because I still outspeed Scarf Mass Mages with my investment. I really want to go Specs because like looking at my opponent's team, what's the switch into to my dual stab if I'm Specs? Like even Drapion, if I knock off the AV with my rune, it potentially takes like 35% from Specs Dark Pulse, so can switch in once basically, but never twice, and then like I can potentially just sweep with Dark Pulse and Hydro Pump. But I really wanted another mon that can revenge kill a Hexerus. Hexerus at +1 is just a big threat to my team. I want to make sure that I can reliably revenge it should my Togekiss go down. It also allows me to potentially pick off a weakened Lopunny. If I get it to like 60%, Hydro Pump will just knock it out, so that's cool. So I guess we should hop right into the game. We're currently 4-3. Should we improve to 5-3? That would be really good. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So I decided to lead off with my Gran because he can U-turn out on everything that he wants to lead with potentially. If he leads with Zapdos, I have the very easy switch into my Stunfisk, which I will go in here now. I won't go for the U-turn, even though he reveals to be Pressure Zapdos and not Static. But I don't want to reveal my Scarf too early, just in case he is a Choice Scarf variant, which I really think he is, looking at the team matchup. And yeah, like I'm pretty convinced that he's scarfed at this point in time, but obviously got a scout for everything. And yeah, like I know Ice Beam won't knock this thing out even if it's offensive, so I have the free switch into my Stunfisk and can get up my Roxy on this next turn, which is nice. Yeah, Mew comes in, I get my rocks, now I get a switch into my Real Nicholas here. If it's a Calm Mind variant, he can't really be Calm Mind's substitute because his dual coverage doesn't beat my team, even if it's like Psychic Signal Beam. It will still be hard wall based by my AV Stunfisk, AV Skuntank, sorry. And like it can be checked by my Togekiss by just flinching it down potentially. So I have a very free knockoff here. It reveals to be the Stealth Rock set, so not a setup Mew, which is nice. Relentless covering most options. And we'll go for the knockoff, trying to see what like his initial switching is, which I figured to be Drapion, but knocking off Drapion's item is really nice, especially he reveals to be Assault Vest, and that's nice for Greninja and Manaphy to potentially sweep late game, just getting rid of that. Pretty solid. Yeah, I'm in a pretty stupid spot. If he pursuit traps me right here, that would be like super annoying, because then I wouldn't be able to check the Lopunny. I would be forced to potentially roost up on the Mew or the Jellicent, which is not easy to do, obviously. And if he goes for knockoff, I lose my Rocky Helmet, which is also pretty bad because then I can't get chip on Lopunny that I need for Greninja potentially to pick it off. And like if I switch out and it goes for knockoff, I don't really have a knockoff switch then. Yes, I could lose potentially my item on Togekiss, but then again, don't want to lose the Cabia Berry while switching into a Drapion, which would be dumb. So I decided to make a like the middle ground play, go into my Manaphy. He can't knock off my Waterium Z, which is cool, and I don't need too much HP on this Manaphy. Depending on his investment, if he's more of a bulky set, I don't take too much from knockoff, but we'll see what he goes for. He goes for the knockoff and does Pursuit Trap me here, which I think is fair play, like just scouting for my initial switch, and I haven't revealed an item yet. If I'm like a Cold Barbarian who wants to knock that one off, much rather than pursue trapping me, because that would do like would do even less than knockoff, obviously. So I get where it's coming from with this play, but knockoff does 28%. This is probably an adamant Drapier, which is kind of annoying. I didn't want my mana fee to be that low. I figured I'd take like more like 20%. I would be more like 70% of health, but that's fine. I don't really need mana fee too much, depending on all his sets. But now it's like obviously you can obviously revenge me with Mega Lobs, Faker plus Return, which is kind of annoying. But still not the end of the world. I can still potentially take Law up on this Drapier on the Jelly Sand if I want to, then like go from there. But definitely gotta play carefully around his threat. So Manaphy comes in. I really predicted the Jelly Sand to come in. I know +3 Energy Ball won't kill, especially defensive Jelly Sand after Rock. So what I decided to do is switching out into my Skuntank here, predicting him to go into Jelly Sand. I can potentially pursue Rabbit or just fire off a Crunch or switch out. So Jelly Sand comes in. I know that I probably outspeed it unless he runs a ton of speed. I have like 36 EVs in speed, so I don't get speed crap. He reveals to be leftovers on this turn, so I know a Crunch will be a guaranteed to KO. But I don't want to take a Will-O-Wisp because I still want to pursue trap the Mismagius, and I still want to like get some heavy damage off on the Jelly Sand and the Mew potentially. So what I decided to do is make the plane go into my Togekiss. It covers basically every option if he goes into his Mega Lopunny on the Crunch, onto his Drapion. On the Crunch, like Togekiss can come in and just fire off an Air Slash, potentially knocking out the Mega Lopunny and like flinching down the Drapion, which would be nice. Like just putting in a range for to a point where I can spam Dark Pulse with the Ninja would be cool. So I decided to switch out as my opponent actually goes for the Scald on this turn. I don't really agree with this play. Yes, he probably predicted me to go for a Pursuit here on this turn, but in my opinion, Pursuit was never my play because if he has the Willow, I just lose way too much momentum, and he hasn't revealed his set yet. And I figured in my opinion, the best plays I could have gone for were Crunch or a switch out. In both cases, like him switching out probably would have been the safest play. Could have gone into Mega Lopunny pretty safely. Could have gone into Drapion to like just take the Crunch and then pivot out of there. But Scald just sufficient for the burn. I don't think if that was the play, but it's fine. He doesn't get to burn on my Togekiss, which is nice. I can just roost up here on this Jelly Sand. I didn't want Defog just yet because I want Zapdos to take the damage that I need him to take. And I can just fire off an Air Slash here, like just gauging the set that this Jelly Sand is, especially defensive variant or not, because then like I know if Manaphy can Oko with the Energy Ball. Just fire off an Air Slash and I get 21% off on Zapdos, so this is like a pretty offensive Zapdos. I don't think he has a lot of HP EVs at all. And 21, getting Rocks plus the 20% off is really nice. I can go back into my Stunfisk here on the potential Roost of Volt Switch if he's Scarf. But he reveals to be Roost, so it doesn't look like that is a Scarf Zapdos. So I will go for the Toxic because he reveals the Heat Wave and the Life Orb. So he doesn't really have anything that deals with Manaphy reliably. I'm max speed. Best thing he has is the Mismagius, which does like 50% or so with the Thunderbolt, unless he's modest, if he's like modest Scarf or something. If he's timid Specs, obviously he does like 75, which is solid, but still doesn't prevent Manaphy from potentially sweeping once I get rid of the Mega Lopunny. So pretty interesting prep on his part. It's like the second or third time my opponent this season haven't really brought a check to like what I figured was one of the biggest threats to my opponent's team, like in week 2 or week 3, my buddy Alpha didn't bring like any response to a +1 Zard, which I found really interesting. And in some other games, I think like the mana fee answers were kinda like weren't as reliable as my opponents may have thought. So that's interesting. I hit the Toxic off on the Zapper. Gets 32% with the Heat Wave, so it's like definitely a solid chunk, but I don't need my Stunfisk as much anymore now that I got the Toxic off on the Zapper. I will go for the Discharge here. I'm heavily invested in special attack to potentially break like a bulky Zapper's substitute. Get 31% off as he misses the Heat Wave. Kind of unfortunate for him, but like I would have like chewed and then still be at like over 50%, so not too big of a deal. On this next turn, he's at half. I predict him to roost and go for the Earth Power. Even if he doesn't roost, Toxic damage will rack up, but I predicted correctly. Hit him with the Earth Power and he will go down to the Toxic. So my boy Stunfisk picking up another kill on the bulky Electric type. That's what he does. Now this thing comes in his mages. The way he brought it in, I figured it was like either a trick set with the choice cup or choice specs, or like a taunt nasty plot setup sweeper, maybe even with only the Shadow Ball as its attacking move with like taunt, substitute, nasty plot. Depending on this investment, maybe Discharge doesn't even break the substitute potentially. So I figured if he's that sad, I gotta get out of there and go into my Skuntank. But I figured if he was Trick, I could potentially go into Manaphy and abuse this thing as setup fodder, just like so that I can break the Jellicent or the Mew, whatever his initial switching is. Like if it's Trick set, a switch into Manaphy would give me so much, but I couldn't really pull the trigger. I go into my Skuntank to pursue trap it, and he reveals to be the Trick set. So sadly, I don't get the switch correctly, but a choice card isn't the worst set on the Skuntank, to be fair. I know that this Mages can't touch me, can't go for the Wisp now that he has the Assault Vest. I don't even know if he has the Will-O-Wisp on the choice card trick set, but he might, because he basically only needs like Shadow Ball and potentially Thunderbolt to hit the Grand harder. But yeah, I can just click Pursuit here, get this Miss Mages out of the way, and yeah, Skuntank putting in the work. Now Lopunny comes in. I can't go hard into my Reuniclus because Reuniclus was already Pursuit trapped, I think. No, it was not. It's not this turn. I make the other switch. So I go to my Reuniclus here. It's my hard counter. It's my opponent. Goes for the return, gets hit by rocks, obviously anti-rock here, which is nice. Can just recover off the damage here in case he wants to stay in. Goes back into Drapion, and now is the time where he pursuit traps me. I contemplate staying in, but I feel like if he goes for a knockoff, I lose way more than I would win. Like even if he goes for the pursuit and I recover off the damage, he will like just go for the knockoff next turn. I have to like lose an item on something. I figured if he stays in and knocks off, I'm in a much worse spot because I can't really touch that thing anyway. And then like I lose my Rocky Helmet, which I really needed for Mega Lopunny I felt. So I decided to make the switch into Skuntank just in case he doesn't have to pursue and goes for the knockoff on this turn. But he pursuit traps me, which is kind of annoying because now I can't take 2 returns anymore. But yeah, my boy Django here comes in. I will click Crunch just to get some damage off. No need to overpredict. I want to get this Drapon out of the way to potentially like recover up on the Mew with my Reuniclus. He doubles out into his Lopunny. It doesn't really matter to me because like getting damage off on the Jellicent is really nice. Like Manaphy now looking pretty clean, especially if I get rid of this Lopunny soon. So I could potentially just go for the another Crunch here, but he's not in Aftermath range yet, so I decided to go into Stunfisk. I don't need it anymore, and like see if I can get off the static para. So what is it, 30% chance or something. Goes for the return, gets paralyzed, which is nice. Now I can go into my Togekiss, not sacking my Stunfisk just yet, because like obviously you gotta keep sacks versus in this league just to make sure you don't lose to some random set. I can go into my Togekiss, roost off the damage as he goes into Mew. I think I will go for the Air Slash here, just gauging if I'm faster than him and gauging the damage. Actually, I'm faster. He risks the Thunderbolt does absolutely nothing, so he's basically uninvested. I risk off the damage here. He goes for another T-Ball. Now I start going for Air Slashes. I need 2 flinches to basically beat this Mew. Get 1, don't get 2. But he roosts up. I would try to go for 2 flinches again, but he gets another roost, and now like there's nothing I can do. I don't want to be the guy who goes for 4 flinches in a row. Like 2 flinches, I think is pretty much like not in my favor just yet, but it's like pretty much a toss up from a math standpoint, from a math point of view. But obviously, I don't want to be the guy who flinches, like who mindlessly clicks Air Slash. I figured like going for 2 flinches in order to get this threat out of the way is not the biggest of deals, but yeah. Anyway, goes for the Psychic on this turn as I go into my Skuntank. He eats his Cobra Berry as I crunch him. Just hits me with the T-Ball. I will just go for another crunch, just like do 46 or 47% to his Mew. Looks to be a physically defensive variant. As he goes into his Drapion, I guess the crunch off does 20%. Defense roll probably doesn't matter depending on his investment. Might be a roll, but then it would be a roll in my favor. So defense roll probably didn't matter. I just crunch him again and get a Drapion out of the way. And now Lopunny comes in. My Scarf Crunch, now that I outspeed him because he's paralyzed, will put him in range for Aftermath. I won't preserve the 6 or anything. It would be stupid. I crunch him. Lopunny will kill me with the return, and I go down. I go down and he goes down to the Aftermath. So Skunting really putting in the work, getting 3 kills basically. And now I just can bring in my Scarf Gran here, click slash Dark Pulse, get rid of Jellicent, and then click it twice versus the Mew. So I definitely, like, look at his damage, he definitely had some Spadef investment. I only do 55%. Thunderbolt won't kill me though, because this Mew is uninvested, and this is gonna be GG. It is Aki. Yeah, good game to my boy Eric. His prep was really solid, I felt. Not much he really could have done better in my opinion. Like not being able to get rid of the Runic early kind of cost him. Maybe he should have pursued Trap the first time Runic came out, but really like was tough for him because then like Pursuit like just doesn't give him too much, especially if I can still recover up on potential stuff like Muir or something. Yeah, getting a static off on Lopunny actually was pretty huge. At this point, my Scarf Gran actually had the game won already because even if he kills my Skuntank without like me getting the pair off, he's at 8% or something because of the Aftermath, or 15%, then I can just spam Dark Pulse and win the game. So it didn't matter too much in the long run. But yeah, that's the game this week. We improved to 5-3. We improved our differential again with the nice 5-0 win, which is cool. We're second in our division, and I think second or third in our conference, which is nice. If I win next week versus Nikki, I should be a lock for playoffs, so that's cool. And yeah, that's it for this week of the NPL. My PMC Orange League Finals versus Trev the King, Trev CL, his Atlanta Braviers, aka Houston Toxic Packs and whatever. They will go out later today or tomorrow, probably later today because today's a chill day for me. I can just like record all day if I want. ITL will go up at some point this week once Tyler, aka Phantom Base, has recorded my week 3 battle. I already had my week 4 battle as well. You will receive a double header basically. And maybe I upload for the TGL is again, so be like look forward to a couple vids from the GOAT. So that's NPL week 5. Hope you guys enjoy week 8, sorry. Hope you guys enjoyed. Leave a like and a comment if you did, and catch you in the next video. See ya.